Look, man. Where? Oh, I see. My, oh my. Bowen, look over there. Wow, is that culture? Yes. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Yeah. Las Culturistas.
Ding dong. Las
Culturistas calling.
I just bodied today's connections on the New York Times Games app. Literally in 15 seconds while we were setting up for this, I was like, boop, 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 boop.
Wait, just now?
Just now, record time. Wina Liu, you don't have it today.
Can I say, I love how activated you get about these things.
Honey, join the club.
I will.
I mean, you have to start playing connections. Sometimes she tries it. Why not?
Oh, well, I know you've really come for her before.
Can I just say, I have this obsession. We need to do a cultural examination of Asian women at the New York Times, because they are powerful. From Michiko Kakutani to Wina Liu, these women hold the keys.
If you think that I forgot when you did an impression of Michiko Kakutani in your SNL, did you actually do Michiko Kakutani for your SNL audition?
Yes. And
they said this is for everyone.
Eric Kenward, producer, little Harvard guy, was like, I really liked your Michiko. I'm like, shut up.
Damn. Anyway, and I went in there and did Anthony and didn't book. Wouldn't you know?
You didn't pander to the Harvard boys.
That was my problem. That was my big issue. Was I can only be me. Can I say, first of all, just catching up on music. I was side-eyeing this Camila era, and now I'm bopping my head. I think he knows. Want to play with him like that? I was side-eyeing the era. I was side-eyeing it. I actually refused to acknowledge it as culture. Now the second thing has come out, and I'm like, maybe I think she knows.
Well, she is doing this thing really well, which is, they talked about this on Popcast Deluxe. Where they talk about pop music. I think we'd all like it. Everyone in the Zoom. Yeah. They're like, the thing with the Dua album, and even though I adore the Dua album, it's slippery. There's no memeability to it. It needs some edge. It needs some it needs a rough surface. It needs serration. And
serration.
Like a serrated edge. You know what I mean?
So Camila is very serrated?
Yes, because even from I love it. Even that is well, this is gonna do numbers. You know what I mean?
Did you see the clip of Lana Del Rey Weekend? Yes, hello, this is Las Culturistas. You are joining us in process. I only talk about Lana Del Rey. This is the Lana Del Rey Stan podcast. As of now, she is nominated at the Culture Awards for Artist of the Millennium and also Best New Artist. So this is an interesting turn for how you thought award shows could go and how nominations could go. But returning to the point, did you see the second weekend of Coachella? Camila came out in the spot where Billy came out. And Lana goes,
that's what I'm referencing.
Lana goes, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. And her Lana sort of ghost whisper. Oh, it's Touchy Rule Culture number 18. Lana Del Rey, that's a ghost
whisper. Fantastic.
Like Jennifer Love Hewitt before her. This is a Lana Del Rey Stan podcast. This is also a Honeymind Stan podcast, wouldn't you say? Can I tell you? Oh my God. And it sucks to say this because I don't think it sucks to say this. It's what I'm about to say. I don't think it's true, but I listened to this and I was like, finally, music. Because there's been some music, but finally, I was like, and what I think I mean by that is I was like, this is taking you back to the 70s FM. This is very John Denver vibes. I feel like I'm the vocal harmony. The man has the best voice in the business. If you thought, he laughs, a gay guy can't make a Judy Sill album. A gay guy can't make a Paul Simon album. You're dead wrong. Here's what I'd say. Okay. Stream Honeymind. You can now because it's out actually as hell. And here's the other deal. So today's actually an auspicious day, Bo, because today, for the first time in Las Culturistas history, we're doing a double episode release. Oh! So if you're listening to this right now, after this, you can listen to our episode with Charlie XCX, who has an album coming out this weekend. But out right now is Honeymind. And this is, it it's music. But what can I say? It's just, if you put it on, you will feel every emotion. I was crying not but 35 minutes ago to the song Boy Who Hung the Moon.
Boy Who Hung the Moon.
I said to be in love.
Oh, what's it like? Let's ask him.
We'll ask him. That'll be the first question.
He's getting married. Oh
my God. Having everyone's dream wedding, I'm sure. Listen. He knows it's true. I think he knows. Anyway, listen. He's performing at the Palace. He's at a residency right now. You can go. I'm going to go next week. My mom is excited. I'm taking her.
Oh my God.
And that would be a gift that you give yourself to go, because I mean, every single time by every single time, I mean, I went to go see Parade twice because I just could not believe how fucking incredible that show was.
Parade.
For me, that should have been the Tony win. All respect. But that's where that should have gone for me. But it did win Best Revival, and we love that. And I will say, just every single time you can see this person perform, you are giving yourself a gift. So give yourself a gift and go see him at the Palace, because just so good.
So good. We love him so much. Everyone welcome
Ben Platt!
You guys.
What's it like to be in love?
So nice. It's like being John Denver. It's great. You know Noah. It's the best.
He is the best.
Yeah.
You said he was going to cameo?
Yeah, he's on his way home right now. And so there'll probably be some barks from Dog George and then some hellos from Noah at some point. So just don't get too jarred by the barks by Dog George.
Well, speaking of your home, and I brought this up to you the last time we saw each other, Ben, but how does it feel to know that my dear mother, Meng Su, has technically been inside your house?
Wait,
I didn't tell you about this?
No.
There was an open house and my broker, Ronnie Rose, who's an icon, took my mom to go. She was like, let's go look at these like really fun places. I won't say the neighborhood, but she was like, let's go look at these fun places. And then went to this beautiful home. My mom was like, wow, that was a really nice place. And then not like 2 months later, did Ronnie reach out. And this might not have been, well, maybe I'll cut this out. But she was like, I think your friend Ben, it's your friend Ben's now. I was like, that's great. Anyway, it's
we just moved in March. We're in Brooklyn people now, and it's really nice. Noah has been trying to get me out of Manhattan for a long time.
How does Brooklyn feel?
So good. I mean, it's like a little exhale. You know what I mean? Like you get off the train and it's like a little less crazy and intense. It's a one hop, skip, and a jump, one train right to the middle of the Broadway areas. It's nice. Feels removed, but not in the middle of nowhere. It's lovely. There are children. There's a Presbyterian school outside, and they play at recess every day. It's wonderful.
You hear the sounds of laughter, young laughter.
We throw volleyballs back from the backyard. It's great.
Do you really? Oh God, that's gonna get annoying quick. It's cute right now.
It already is annoying.
My favorite thing about you guys is I've run into you guys in Times Square like 3 times.
Wait, same.
They're always jaunting around Times Square.
We're all 3 very consistent patrons of the theater, and so that's why we're always in Times Square.
100%. I forget what show I was going to see, but I think you guys were going to see another show, and I was like, look at us out here. Always the biggest smiles on our faces, ready to consume.
Yeah, that's the happiest time, when you can stay hopeful before you've actually seen the show. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Big news on the Broadway front, though. Audra and Gypsy. Are we excited or what?
My God. I'm doing a special guest every night in my at my Palace Theater gig. I had Casey Musgraves and Kristen Chenoweth was last night. So this weekend I have dear Adrienne Warren, who's like
amazing.
Wow.
And before I knew about any of this Audra nonsense, we were going to sing If Mama Was Married from Gypsy. We're going to do like the 2 sisters. And I was like, girl, you should be playing Louise in this revival.
Is she?
Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Should.
Absolutely should. Can you imagine that turn, that change in Act 2?
That would be incredible.
Just saying, if George C. Wolfe is listening, which I'm sure he is.
George, I thought you were going to say that Audra was going to join you for one of the Palace shows.
I tried. She has her own concert gigs. She can't make it.
Oh, sure.
That's the thing about Audra. She's busy singing on her own. And that's actually Roller Culture number 55. That's the thing about Audra. She's busy singing on her own. I love when the guest joins in on the Roller Culture. It gives it an extra power.
It gives it an extra power.
Well, it was about Audra. I felt that I got license. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But there will be good guests besides Audra. Sorry, keep going.
So wait, what can you spoil any that'll happen? And like, what's happening tonight?
Okay, well, this is all just to say if nobody gets sick or something happens. Sure. But if all goes to plan, tonight is Leslie Odom Jr.
Wow.
Tomorrow is my album release day, so it's Noah Galvin.
Sweet.
And we're going to sing Two Most Wanted as Miley and Beyonce, obviously.
You're fucking kidding.
Obviously.
Wow. Blew up our spot. That's there's big plans for a performance from the Culture Awards.
I would have no doubt about that. On Friday, that's Friday. On Saturday, we have a double whammy planned. It's Rachel Zegler, and then also my dear friend and co-star from Evan Hansen, Laura Dreyfus, is going to sing Only Us with me.
Oh, that'll be wonderful.
It'll be fun. And then Sunday's Adrienne Warren.
Wow. So only the best.
Duh. Only the vocal cords.
Only the chords.
Duh. And he's drinking his Essentia like a good singer.
Liters and liters a day.
You know, it was Ben who told the truth about vocal prep to the world, which is just have room temperature water. Stop with all the tea. Stop with all the cold water. Right? Isn't that so?
It is true. Cold water fucks you up. It's like it makes everything like really crackly and like really dry, and it's got to be room temp. Although hot water with lemon's good for mucus, I will say that.
It's good for mucus. Okay. That's your culture number 99. Although hot water with lemon is good for mucus.
Good for mucus, I will say.
I already have 2 rules. This is amazing.
This is really good.
You're found. Ben, what was Nashville like?
So nice. It's like weirdly slowly becoming LA, but besides that, it was wonderful. I mean, a lot of the writers I've been wanting to work with forever are all there because that's where like I found it like really calming, wonderful place to write. Also, I don't really know anyone else there besides the people that I was writing with, so it felt like very like blinders up, no distractions. Like let me just immerse creatively in this and just only do this. I loved it. I'm playing 2 shows there in June.
Nashville. Now tell me this. Did you go to the Grand Ole Opry?
I've never been to the Grand Ole Opry.
That's okay.
I'm playing the Ryman though. So that's like second best.
What's the Ryman?
Ryman Auditorium's like super, storied vibes. Like Casey just played there, and it's it's like the sort of, if you're not going to play the Opry, it's like a really beautiful little country venue, a little more like traditional proscenium vibes.
I want to know, what is Casey like in person? Enchanting?
Enchanting, gorgeous. Like a stoner.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is she trying to corrupt you? Because I know how good you are when you have to use your voice. You don't even touch the stuff.
No, she's the same when she has to sing. We have similar types of vocal anxiety, I think, but just like energetically, like never gets above like a 5 in a really nice way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like really even.
I identify with that. I'm never above a 5.
And then
very cool.
We love a queen that sounds like the record always. And she, boy, does she sound like the record.
She do.
That's a clean tone. That is some Sarah Bareilles shit.
Oh, crystal clear.
So you are a consumer of the girls. So I want to know, like, out of this like sort of like wealth of pop girly output lately, like what's risen to the top for you?
Okay. The honorable mentions are Deeper Well, of course.
Yes.
Cowboy Carter, delicious.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm returning to the most is Miss Ari Grande.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that, and I am with you.
It is a classic. It is, every song is the most like fine-tuned, like delicious bubblegum, perfect pop melody lyric ever. It's they're in my mind all the time, not in a way where you're like, get this song out of my mind, in a way where you're like, I'm going to go listen to that song right now.
Yep.
And I'm thrilled that The Boy Is Mine is our next single because that was my favorite song from first listen.
Yes.
Yep.
And I just think she's like the greatest pop star of generation. I mean, obviously we have feelings about Beyonce, and I don't even call Beyonce like a pop star. It's a different situation. But in terms of like a POP star, she's number 1 of our lifetime, I think.
Even Intro End of the World is like, I'm going back to that all the time.
Yeah. How do I know if I'm in the right relationship?
Yeah. Thank you for a thesis statement right up top. And then at the end, when Nona answers the question, she says, You're in the wrong place. Get out. It's also like genre wise, like it's so what I like started to wrap my brain around in terms of like why I love music. Like it does remind me of Mariah in like the late 90s. Like it takes me back to that, like just those rich like harmonies, the layers, just there's so much in the music. And it's just, I love that it's like 36 minutes long, but tells like a complete story. It takes you on a journey. You really feel all of her emotions to the point where towards the end when she's saying, I wish I hated you. And like wrapping up that relationship in terms of how it appears on the album. Like just that last chorus that she sings, like, and her heart is breaking and her voice is breaking. I'm like, God, she fucking earned every second of this with what we've heard so far. Like, just amazing.
And she's such a proponent for like, I mean, first of all, obviously we know she's one of the great instruments, but for vocal ability to not necessarily mean just like foot on the gas. Like there's so many different things that she does that have so much restraint that take honestly so much more ability that are so impressive. And then also production wise, what you're saying about like the Mariah of it all. I love when there's like electronic production elements that are like very self-consciously retro electronic, like very clearly a button being pressed in a way that's like self-aware. Do you know what I mean? Like when it's not trying to pretend to be like a live room or like something warm. It's like, this is deeply fun and self-aware. And like, I just think that it's a home run on that front too.
Yeah, 1000%. But even on Ordinary Things, it's like that brass is like not totally like it belongs there. You're like, oh, I love it. Like this is the perfect way to meld all of these different ideas. Like get the you get this like the vocal recording, the voice recording from Nona, and like it all just like it's complete. Like I'm all for a, let's say 30 track, 2 hour long album, let's say. But I really like how concise that whole album is. Like, I really like, I think when she played it for me, I was like, I think this is your best. And I wasn't sure, but like now I'm quite positive that it is her best album in my mind, at least.
I would tend to agree.
Yeah.
But then you remember there has been so much incredible work. And I was actually thinking about that as I was listening to your album, Ben, like this concept of like doing your best work. It's like, because as I was listening to it, I was like, this is his best work. This is the most cohesive, like best work. And I wonder as an artist, like when you hear this is your best work, obviously that's like a compliment, like at face value in and of itself. But like, I would imagine you're incredibly proud of the other, like, great pieces of work you've put out. And what I would imagine is the thing that's like really great when it comes to you is it's like you can't really even compare this to like Reverie because it does something completely different. And is that the goal? Is it just like creating different bodies of work where you can say, I did that thing, now I'm doing this thing? Like, is that a clear question?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think at least in terms of like writing my own music, I try to like lead first and foremost from just like where I'm at, like as a person, and like let that be the guide, as opposed to going in and being like, I'd really like to do like Americana sound now, or like then my last album, like I'd really like to have a Peter Gabriel moment. Like it's more like, because it was the pandemic and I was wanting like, I was feeling restless like everybody and wanting an escape. Like I was loving writing songs that had like all that 80s electronic like feeling to them. And then that's sort of how that came to be. And in this case, you know, I've been with Noah now for a moment and I turned 30 and things are feeling a little more like settled and comfortable in terms of like understanding myself and like who I am. And so that felt a lot more just organic to like a super plaintive, like unadorned, like sound that lives in this more Laurel Canyon, Paul Simon, James Taylor-y kind of world. And so I think for me, it's like, I'll always like what's happening like now the best because it's the one I like relate to the most. And like the thing that I feel like that I can still identify with. Like, I feel like sometimes I listen to other things I've done or watch other, you know, if I'm forced to, other projects that I've done. And then like, I can have an appreciation for it, but I like, it's such a hard thing. I'm sure you feel this way too. It's like you watch things or hear things and you're like, I could have done so much more, or now I have such a better perspective, or I don't know what I was thinking, or like that doesn't feel like me at all. And it doesn't mean you don't love those things still, but I always will feel like the most proud of like the thing that I feel like paints me as I am right now. So, and also anytime anyone wants to say that something is good that isn't my performance for Evan Hansen when I was 24 years old is like such a relief, because when that ended, it was sort of like was this it?
Peak,
you know what I mean? So I'm just so grateful that there's been more acts at all.
I feel like you, for a while now, have transcended the Evan Hansen part of your life and career, which is an incredible, it's an incredible benchmark in that sort of timeline. But like, I feel like for a while now, you've really staked all of these nice claims outside of that in a way that like makes it all coexist on the same plane. But like with this album, I really love, I feel like Fear of Missing Out is the thing that kind of like keystones it for me. It's plaintive throughout the album, but I feel like this is a song that represents like getting settled into something, getting settled into this idea of like, I don't need to be stimulated by all of these things that are happening outside of my world. I'm very eager to like decorate and adorn and have some knowledge around like my little corner of the world or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I think definitely, other than like ad nauseum love songs to Noah, like the other main things that I wanted to really express and like write about is just like this understanding of like following your internal compass, which I feel like is easier said than done. And like, particularly with what we all do. And like, it's like very easy to want to like make the right move creatively, professionally, whatever, personally, that like it's the move you're supposed to make or the thing that others would like you to do or what you know will have the best external reaction, validation, etc. And like being in this relationship and also just having other experiences like making theater camp with my friends and with Noah, like I think has really just like driven home that like, you know, we're all going to die. Like we need to just be really trying to prioritize like the things that make us wake up and like feel excited and fulfilled and like want to do this in the first place. Because like, no matter how positive and wonderful an experience is, like by virtue of what we all do, like there's going to be so much shittiness that is needed. Like you have to just get through to get to the good part, and like critique and the internet and the, you know, just there's all this stuff that's like, it's not going anywhere. So like if the thing itself is not filling you up, then like really what's the point? And so I think like, yeah, just that sort of ability and like courage to settle into that thanks to having this partner who makes me feel like I can do that, I think is exactly what I wanted to express.
Okay, so I wrote down a line from that song, which is, this is paraphrasing, but scared of disappointing people I'll never see. And then I've got the fear of missing out on me. Like, do you think that not that it was the answer to be in a relationship, but that it really helped distract from all the other shit? Because like, sometimes I feel like,
oh my God, I would die for one.
You know what I mean?
Distract me for that.
And honestly, sometimes when I feel really overwhelmed with kind of this idea of like, what do people think? Like, what should I do? Like, am I doing the right thing? I end up triggering myself and like missing being in a relationship, like as if that's the answer. And then you say these things like, well, Noah's made everything beautiful and wonderful, so maybe it is the answer. So should we just settle now? Should we just like toss the line out, put a blindfold on and hope a good one bites?
No. It's two things. It obviously is very helpful, but also like your girl's in therapy working these things out
100%
alone too. But also like, I would think the only thing worse than trying to make this, you know, come to these conclusions on your own would be doing it with someone that's not the right person for you to be doing it with, and who's like leading you astray or like bullshitting you or blowing smoke or just like yes manning you. I feel like that is an even scarier like pratfall. So no, only if it's like your person. Otherwise, like you are strong women that can stand on your own 2 feet.
We definitely are strong women, but it's hard.
Sometimes a bitch gets brought down.
It's so true.
You know what I mean?
And then you do like, I remember like when I was in a relationship, like it was so easy to be like, well, fuck this, I have a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like you storm away and go, I don't need this. Because I remember I got into a fight with one of our friends and like, I remember saying like, you know what? I'm gonna call my boyfriend. And then like that fell apart in such an insane way. And so I was just like, well, now I can't. That was not a healthy thing to rely on because it was external. And I guess that is the reason why your girls have to be in therapy.
Of
because
course.
nothing helps like therapy. Nothing. I'm obsessed.
Of course. That's why people say such nice things about it. It's like actually true.
Totally.
I'm doing the EMDR, and I said I was doing the EMDR, and Bowen called it controversial.
No, what is EMDR?
You hold the
what is
little
it, Matt?
things. It's like you hold two little pods, and they vibrate, and then basically like you close your eyes and go to sort of stream of conscious, like speak on whatever topic it is your therapist is talking about, and she sort of guides you through these different emotions, and you kind of just don't stop yourself. And like you find every single time I've gone to therapy, it's sort of like trauma stuff, but it doesn't mean it has to be like.
Wait, but I'm
intense.
still not clear on like what you're holding.
So basically, you're holding two like little tiny pods, and they vibrate rotationally. So it's like bzz, 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 bzz,
Based on what
like,
you're feeling, or just
no,
randomly?
it's just to make your brain work a little faster. You know, I think it's kind of like fooling you into like making your brain like move a little.
It's making your brain play at 1.5 speed.
Is Noah here?
Yeah, he is.
Noah, come on, we're talking about therapy.
Noah, come now. Noah,
yeah.
Oh my God, he just flashed us with his tits.
us.
I'm really loving the blonde hair. It's really doing it.
That was what I said too.
I think it's time to like reclaim sort of the
Crisis
Eminem
blonde.
narrative. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
You know, my thing is like people that are like, oh, he's in crisis. It's just like an easy, stupid thing to say. And also, I guarantee you, if I was in crisis, I would not roll the dice on my hair. I'm a gay guy. Like
that's right.
I have so much of my self-worth is on top of my head. I wouldn't roll the dice on it. I wouldn't.
I understand. You look beautiful.
They were explaining
you.
to me
You look
EMDR. They were talking about therapy.
Oh, my therapist told me about this recently. What is that?
It's pods
Oh my gosh.
that you hold in your hand, and they buzz rotationally.
They sort of buzz back and forth, and your brain's supposed to like make your brain move quicker so that you like stream of consciousness arrive at things that you may not. And it's like it's like you talk about traumatic memories while it happens.
Sure. It's like the like hearing test when you were younger, but like for emotions.
Can I say I miss just doing like going to the nurse and doing like a hearing test or a seeing test. You know
when
what I mean?
everything was just sort of like raise your hand when you hear a beep. That's as hard as life
when those were the stakes.
I love you.
But love you,
Get
Noah.
back to your thing. Get back to your thing. We love you so much.
Okay. Bye.
We love you.
The most stressful part of the year was the presidential fitness test. It was like if you could touch your toes.
Oh my God, the mile.
The mile.
Did you have to run the mile? We ran the
Yes.
mile by running 3 cycles around the block of our school.
Oh, that's how they measured it. We
That
had a
was the
track.
mile.
See, the presidential, that was something I really placed a lot of value in because I happened to be good at it because I couldn't like,
And you
do
love George
math.
W. Bush.
Love George W. Bush. I mean, one of the great girls. Well, you know, it was hard for me to sit and reach.
That's what I'm talking about. You sit and you're supposed to touch your toes. Legs out, you're supposed to touch your toes.
Yeah,
that I can do.
I feel that you are flexible. You sort of give flexible energy.
I mean, enough to like stretch out for singing. I'm not like a dancer. Noah's like a dancer.
Stretch out for singing.
Yeah, you got to get your whole body.
Well, that's the title
baby.
of app, unfortunately.
Stretch out for singing. That's the title of app?
You don't like it? It's not up to you.
That's okay. That's all right. It's fine.
It's okay. He thinks because he said one of the rules in tandem with us, he can sort of like dictate the title.
I thought it was going to be Ghost Whisper, but I like Stretch for
Oh, I do like Ghost Whisper.
Let's make it about Casey.
Yeah. Sure.
We'll make it about Casey.
We can do that.
Wait, I have a kind of a scary question.
That's
you don't have to answer it. Okay,
Take
but
it.
when we were talking about like regarding your past selves through your work, like I imagine that is going to come up when you finish Merrily. You know what I mean? Like you're going to watch yourself back and be like, oh my God, like who is that guy?
If we're all alive and the world is intact and like film still exists and people go watch film, all of which we don't know. This is 60 years in the future. So like fully don't know. I think I mean, I think it's just going to be such an emotional like scrapbook that I won't care. Like, I think,
right.
Because it's like Beanie's in it with me and she's like my lifelong friend. And it's like Sondheim, which is,
timeless and
the angel of the world. And like, I just think I feel so like unbelievably happy that it exists. And I would be so overjoyed if we literally made it to the finish line that I think I would be thrilled to watch it. I mean, especially with my, God willing, like maybe children at that point, like giving them a little kind of retrospective of
oh my God, that's
where
amazing.
we're at. And also right now, like we're gays, like I look in the mirror and I'm like, my tummy this and my cheeks that and my whatever. But I'm so excited for like in 16 years to look at the early scenes and be like, God, look how fucking young and gorgeous.
Oh my God. That's the thing too, is it's like when you look back and you're like, why was I insecure? Like it's like you wish you could tell yourself even from 3 years from now. It's just like, no, just like, it's good up. Now. The thing that I'm fixated now lately is my fucking neck and my like whenever like it's ridiculous. It is
What's wrong ridiculous. With your neck?
What's wrong with your long statuesque neck?
You guys, nothing. But I feel like, you know what happened? What happened to me was I was in a video with bad lighting that did very well, and because it was like a funny video, like I co-hosted
bad lighting but did very well.
No. Okay, so I guest hosted Love It or Leave It last week, and it was the live show, and a clip from the live show. I told a story about how on 9/11 I made my mom take me to go get the Mariah Carey album Glitter. Like I threw a tantrum, and it was 9/11. So like and it was a funny story. I swear. And I was like, I was in this really bad lighting and like, it didn't look great. And then it had me second guessing my hair. It was just like, and I was just like, you know what? This is not a video for me to watch. Like I'm never going to get permanence on this. Like, it's like when you talk about watching your old work and like, or watching new work and then like what it does. Like my thing is I always appreciate it much later. Cause in the moment I'm always so critical of like the way I look or like, what I've done. Like when we talk about this, like when I first saw Fire Island, I had a breakdown. Like
me too.
And we've all experienced that. Bowen talks about it as well. Like, it's hard to engage with yourself when you're already in a community that's so hard on itself.
It's unnatural. I mean, it's like the internet alone of like looking at images of yourself all day is like ruining everyone's mental health and self-esteem. Yeah. And then on top of that, for your livelihood to depend on something where once again, you're confronted with your image all the time. It's like, it's no wonder we're all so fucked up.
We're also fucked up. We need to be in therapy, doing EMDR, squeezing things that buzz.
I will say for the EMDR stuff, like I pointed it out as controversial because of based on what I had read just textually, and then anecdotally people were telling me like I forget, like people at work were like, oh no, it's actually been very helpful, and and that's all.
Well, I did tell my therapist that you said it was controversial.
No, what did she say?
Now, why did he say that? And I was like, I don't know. I think he thought it was genuinely controversial. She goes, okay, well, it is like, just so you know, it's not controversial. It's like a research thing, etc. And I was like, I feel good about what we're doing. And then she gave me the pods and they began to buzz.
Just to say, we've touched on it now, I would say 4 times. Still have no idea what this is.
Look it up, bitch.
Matt is doing like bringing up like putting his jukes up and he's saying those are pods.
I'm imagining like stress ball squeezers, but they vibrate.
I have yet to correctly describe what it is, and I'm realizing when I try, it's because I don't think I really know. I think it's kind of just like everything in my life where someone just said, "Do you want to try this?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
great.
I want to try it all."
Yeah, YOLO.
Are you a trier?
Am I a trier? No, I'm afraid of everything. But Noah is a really amazing trier, so it evens out.
Good for you guys to be married then.
Yeah, probably.
Probably balance each other out a bit.
That's right.
I know the invite list has to be big. You guys have big families, but
we're getting right in there.
Interesting.
We don't have to be on the list, but we can be present in a way.
Well, what would you guys?
We can share one seat.
If I were to hire you like as vendors, like what is the service that you would offer?
I think we would write Poetry?
No, you know what we could do at the Pot Galvin wedding? We could be like party motivators, like at bar and bat mitzvahs and stuff. Like just go up to the tables and be like, "Come on, Mama June!" Like, I don't know. There's in this world, there's someone there named Mama June.
We're gonna be party motivators.
I like
a bar mitzvah style at our wedding.
Oh my God. So basically Ben is looking at Noah off camera and I'm imagining that like, it's like they heard us being like, so what can we do? Can we be invited? And Noah's off camera like, no, Ben, do not.
No, he's off camera being like, ask them if they'll be dancers. But party motivators is good.
We'll dance. We'll do it all. We'll stretch to sing. We'll stretch to dance.
Party motivators. There was I was at a party once, like I think it was a Sweet 16 or something, where there was a party motivator, and it was mortifying to be like a 13-year-old like gay preteen, like gangly, like going through it, like in terms of the growth spurt, and have this like confident 20-something gorgeous sort of run over to you, like shaking her like shoulders like this and being like, come on, Matthew, get up, this is a party after all, come on, boo, and like making me move my horrible limbs. Like,
but wait, she sounds like
every bar mitzvah.
No, this honestly, she was scary because I knew she was me. I knew she was a confident me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you saw yourself reflected.
It was just, I couldn't imagine being confident enough to dance over to strangers and be like, let's go. But now I can.
Yeah.
That's the way that I would like peacock at bar mitzvahs, because I was like the only usually self-possessed gay kid. Or maybe there was like one other one, but it would be like me and the girls going absolutely off and the guys just sitting at the table in their like sneakers and suits. And also if there's a boy dancer, if you're going to actually do this, you have to wear a too tight for you black t-shirt.
That's no problem.
Oh, no problem.
Okay,
I have a drawer full. That's
Las Cultch has, we've become the poster children for sex. We're taking a turn towards fitness. Bowen is showing his butt in a movie.
What?
Yeah.
I've had, nothing will get
so
you to the gym.
A Heine shot.
Shot.
That's what I call it. Because Rosie O'Donnell used to, whenever she'd have a male guest on her show back in the day, right before the interview would end, she would go, any Heine shots? Like I remember years ago, like watching Rosie O'Donnell, I would quote unquote get sick at school. Like I would fake it a lot, like so I could come home and watch Rosie O'Donnell sometimes. And I remember
so gay.
She's so gay. She had Mark Wahlberg, not Marky Mark, on her show one time, and this was like, he was Marky Mark and he was so hot, and she was still doing her thing of like, I'm flirting with these guys on my show. So she was like, any Heine shots? And he goes, little Heine shot. Little Heine shot.
And then you came instantaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
So hot to think about.
So hot. Not anymore, sadly, but he was.
Yeah, I mean, other things get in the way with him now.
Right. Stuff has gone down. It's too much to unsee, but
totally.
We had our time.
Yeah. Did you guys see Dennis Quaid's big announcement? He was like, he's come out and said that he's going to vote for Trump. And the quote was this: a lot of people say he's an asshole, but he's my asshole.
Which is like,
come on.
Yeah. He's my asshole, was what the man said.
No.
Your asshole is on your person. That's not, he's not your asshole. You've had one all along. It's the ruby slippers. It's like, it's been with you.
Just one of the most colossal flops.
I will just take the image of him with the open chest hair with Meredith Blake and the Parent Trap and leave the rest.
Just let that be yours. You know what I mean? It's like Harry Potter. Like if Dennis Quaid as a child meant something to you when he opened up his shirt a little bit and like showed that chest hair, engaged to Meredith Blake, don't let it ruin it for you. You know what I mean? Don't let what's happened ruin it for you.
It's like that and Hermione, and then they can both go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Harry Potter.
No.
What are our thoughts?
Daniel's in Merrily.
I know.
Wait, did you see the Merrily? Did you go for research? By the way, people that don't know, like Ben and Beanie are shooting with Richard Linklater of Boyhood fame, like every year they're doing Merrily the Right Way, which is every year they're shooting like a chapter of this story, and it's going to come out in like 16 years or whatever the fuck it is, like when it's all done. So he's doing what he did with Boyhood with Merrily, and that's what we're talking about when we're talking about like the watching in many years and looking back. So did you go to see Paul
Mescal, of course?
Paul Mescal?
Yes.
Yeah, he's Frank.
Wow, you really nailed the casting.
I loved it. The three of them are so impeccably cast together. They just really jive and gel, and they bring different energies, and you really believe their sweet love, and then it makes it sad when it goes away. And I thought it was as again, like you were saying, it's like I think if we can make it, the ultimate way to do it is actually really to watch that de-aging process happen. But as far as like making it work on stage and playing up and then playing down, it's like it's the best version I could imagine, really.
Right. Oh,
that's going to be so emotional.
Right.
That's going to be a lot of tears.
Yeah,
watching yourself de-age, like
no, don't.
But I'll be watching it from like with Google glasses on my own deck. You know what I mean? Like in private.
In
the way that we watch things. That's right.
On Mars.
Oh,
in my like scuba suit to be outside in the environment. It'll be great.
Well, how do we save cinema?
That's a good question. I think probably we try Batgirl again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think more sequels. I think.
Yeah.
I have to say, like with Furiosa, like quote unquote flopping, like Bowen and I fucking loved Mad Max Fury Road, but I think the reason why I didn't go see Furiosa and like didn't have like top of mind plans to see Furiosa is because I do feel like when I see the preview for that movie, I do feel like I've seen that movie already. You know what I mean? Like people are all throwing out their theories about like why the box office is flopping, and everyone has like their ideas about why it's not been a great year, why it hasn't been a great couple of years. But like, I think my thing is, it just feels like every movie that comes out, even if they are really quality, which this is apparently, I just feel like I have seen it. Yeah. And I think that's like a thing with the sequels of it all. It's just like the sequel and prequel fatigue is just like very real because we're not getting anything new.
Yeah. I feel like so out of touch, but like the things I consider to be eventized are like so not the things that I guess like the general public would consider to be eventized. I was like, oh my God, like Yorgos and Poor Things and Emma, like I'm getting out of my apartment and going to see that with a crowd. Like, but like Marvel number 27, I'm like that doesn't really thrill me anymore.
Who cares?
But I think that we're all on the same page about like that we are in tune with the general public where they're like, we don't really care about the next like Marvel 27. But what I find interesting is that with WICK'T, like it is like, oh, we have made a musical look like a Marvel film, which has never really happened before.
I think it's thrilling.
I mean, I just realized that
you've seen it.
Have you seen
it? A million times. I think you must have seen it. The film,
well, I don't know. He might have.
No.
He's lying.
There is a small circle of people.
WOH, word of honor, have not. Would love to, have not.
Okay, great.
I've seen some like BTS packages maybe that haven't come out yet, but I haven't seen the film.
Same.
But every little lick of footage I've seen has looked stunning and glorious, and I can't wait. And it's finally a musical that's big enough and like fully realized enough the way that it absolutely should be. And we all need to show up for this musical.
We will. I'm not worried about WICK'T at all. I'm not worried about WICK'T.
WICK'T. It's about candles.
Teal WICK'T.
You know what's cool about WICK'T too? Like WICK'T, not that like people weren't aware of the fact that it was a musical, but more than any other movie musical, like in the trailer, you get that it's a musical.
Oh yeah.
But people still have gripes about, we didn't see anyone singing. Like we didn't see anyone, like we didn't see the note come out of Cynthia's mouth. You know what I mean? Like, which I think is
like no matter what comes out, the internet's going to be like, okay, but there was too much, the saturation, the color saturation was crazy. It's like, okay, you go make this movie for 4 fucking years. Like
for 20, for God's sake.
Everyone always knows better and no one does except us now.
That's right.
Except the three of us right now. We know better, but everyone else doesn't. And they should shut up.
And that's a rule of culture.
I forget how long it was. Ben, you're allowed to say a rule of culture.
Ben, you are.
It's not. It's not.
But it wasn't. We have a category, best song from WICK'T. And
what are they? Have you announced the nominations? No.
By now we have.
Okay, let me read them.
Yeah, and then we'll have you choose. These are the nominees for best song from WICK'T. The nominees may surprise you.
Okay.
These are
if
the best
something
songs.
bad's not on there, I don't want to hear this. But keep going.
Well,
you might be a
okay. Hold on. Watch the space. Best song from WICK'T. The nominees are "Thank Goodness," "I'm Not That Girl," "I'm Not That Girl" reprise.
Ooh.
What is this feeling? Also, low key, some of you are still calling the song "Loathing," and we clock it every single time.
Every single time.
Although Stephen Schwartz and Stephen Remus do call it "Loathing," like the people internally.
Okay, well then they need to answer to that.
Okay, fair. "One Short Day," "March of the Witch Hunters," "Something Bad," and "Dear Old Chiz." No Defying Gravity.
No Good Deed snubbed.
No Good
Wizard
Deeds
and I snubbed.
Yeah, but these are all the real ones. It's honestly there's a lot of comets in this category.
A lot of comets.
I have two knee jerks. That
you have two knees, so this is believable what you said, because they both could have jerked the left and the right knee.
My vote would be garnered by either "I'm Not That Girl" reprise.
Yes! Thank you so
much. Or "March of the Witch Hunters," because especially in the musical, the reveal of her behind the Witch Hunters every time shivers goosebumps.
But also Bach is like going off
with the witch. Yeah, of course. I'm hoping we get that. I mean, again, something I legitimately do not know the answer to, but I hope that we get that on this new film album.
See, Bowen is famous for being like, I think I can say this, and then dropping something crazy about the movie.
Oh, well, like the internet got my ass for saying that Dillerman would be played by a woman, which I never said. I never said that Dillerman would be played by a woman.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. These girls will just make shit up.
Yeah, but girl, you speak too much. You play too much. You did this with Ariana Grande's album too. He was on fucking Twitch and he goes, "Yes, I've heard the new Ariana Grande album. Yes, it's definitely going to be this. And she definitely worked with this person." And I was like, and then the media picked that up. And she was like, "Oh my God, I love that you talked about it."
You meant that like spiritually Dillerman is a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
Because Dillerman is a
It was a puppeteer named Louisa.
There's a puppeteer named Louisa.
Wow.
And I wanted to give her flowers because she was amazing. Wow. And then the internet took that to mean that Dillerman would be played by a woman. And then they were like, "It's going to be Adina." And I'm like, that is the stupidest thing.
Adina as Dillerman. Like, imagine that call. Like, "Hey, Adina, it's us. Like, we know you've been interested in the cameo. You're going to be Dillerman. Boo." Like, she'd be like, "Oh my God.
Oh my God. How dare you guys."
I am really pulling for "I'm Not That Girl" reprise just because I'm not that girl. And it goes into fucking...
It's Glinda's only like real alto note in the whole show.
But the lyric, she gets to really like hit that note. But the "Don't wish, don't start, wishing only wounds the heart." Like, fuck. You kidding me?
It's a good show, this WICK'T.
This WICK'T is a good show. Okay, I don't think I can say this. No. This is what I'll say. I don't think someone ever being like, "Oh, why is it in two parts? If Defying Gravity is going to be in the first part, then like, what's there to like wait for in the second?" Like, there is so much.
"I'm Not That Girl" reprise.
I'm Not That Girl reprise. First of all, like, For Good and like the end of that movie, like of that show, like that is the end of the story. Like, don't worry that it's not going to feel exciting. It's just what you're getting now is a really intense climax and finale for the first movie. That would feel really weird if it was one movie and that was just the middle of the movie. Like, you need to break them up. They're actually narratively and like in terms of a viewing experience,
So
the
expansive.
show is supposed to end after Defying Gravity. That's why there's an intermission. Like, and so basically what you're getting is an intermission. You are getting the show, but it's 2 movies. I understand, of course, why there'd be people out there being like, oh, it's a money thing. It's a money thing. But I think it would be weird to have Defying Gravity in the middle of that movie. I really do.
Famously, tourists early on used to leave at intermission because they thought that was it.
Right.
Famously.
They were like, well, they can't go up from here, so that must be the end.
She gets away.
She gets away. But here's what I'm saying. The people who are involved in this film, me excluded, care deeply about this. And except for me. No, I'm just kidding. But it will be okay. It will be okay.
Of course. Listen, I have no doubts because I know my girl is in it. And when he touched that hat and said, "What's this?" I said, "This is representation and it matters." Do you think the representation matters? You've never said that before.
Is this to me?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I think we have enough.
I think that's good.
Of course it does. Oh yeah. I mean, I've staken my whole life on just being like, I'm gay. Isn't that important? Look how gay I am. Listen to my
all the way up on the mic.
Listen to my Jew gay love songs. Gay, Jew gay.
So you did, was it acid or mushrooms that made you say the title is Honeymind?
Chocolate mushrooms, of course. I've never tried acid. Is acid better?
I think you would like it if you were out in nature and if you were with your beloved and your close friends.
It's not like chesty anxiety-y?
I don't think so.
I think that it would depend on how much you took. Here's what I would say. Go rent a house upstate. Bring a nice vinyl. Let's throw out there the new Maggie Rogers.
Ooh, also great and very
also
underrated.
Great. Yes.
Underrated. It's a crowded year. Spin it, take your half a tab, walk around, look at the moon, see what it tells you.
Oh, so nighttime.
I feel starting the day, go into night.
Does it last that long?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what we did. Bowen and I did that years ago, and we had an emotional breakthrough.
Mm-hmm. And then you woke up and your hair was blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
No, I literally like went outside, stared at the moon, and listened to an underrated Maggie Rogers song, deep cut, called "Better," and I listened to that on acid, and I was like, "This, I will never forget this." It's a really, I think you'll like it, Ben.
Okay.
Yeah. And on the other side of the house, I was up looking at the moon, listening to "Light On," which is, of course, her biggest single. Like, my God, this is speaking to me.
I loved that first album. Just really.
Oh, amazing.
It was my personal, like, John Hughes coming of age film, that whole album. I listened to it for like my whole entry into adulthood. I like if Girls, the show, was like one album, it would be the Maggie Rogers first album.
That is really astute.
Wow.
You know,
period.
Both things that I love.
You know what I heard the other day, and it reminded me, like, I think it was in the trailer for Girls season 2. Ellie Goulding, Anything Can Happen.
So good.
Anything can happen.
I was like, this girl really gives it to you sometimes.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, also there's just the music on Girls was consistently phenomenal.
Yeah, it was giving Grey's Anatomy tastemaker vibes.
Yes, it was giving tastemaker vibes. It was giving Robin writing the tweet. We don't have to go there, but you know.
I don't think that there will ever be a better end to an episode of television ever than her writing that tweet, drafting that tweet, sending it, and Allison Williams coming in, the reveal that to her that Elijah was gay the whole time, and they danced the dancing on their own, and they hug, and the smash on the beat at the end of the chorus. Like, I mean, come on.
And just her reaction to the news and just immediately embracing it and just being like, that's funny. Like, of course, you know, of course he was gay. It's like, that's friendship. It's just like letting it roll off your back. I could talk about we should do a whole Girls Rewatch podcast. But I think that already exists.
Probably. I think people want it from us, though.
Yep.
You know, we're doing an Olympics podcast.
Is that real?
Yes. Thoughts?
But what does that mean? Like, are you going to go like event by event?
I think that's one way to go about it. I'm down to like really go through each event and be like, okay, so what should we know about this? And who are the players and who are the stars and blah, 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 blah.
So like for someone like me who's like not well versed, I could listen and you could help me like be an intro course.
This is a perfect podcast for you because we don't know anything about anything.
Perfect.
And so it's really going to be for the every gay, this podcast, because it's truly hosted by two people who just this isn't their culture. I have to say, maybe years ago, like the Summer Olympics was my culture. When was the last time the Olympics was like something you gave energy to?
2012, maybe London.
Like I watched the clips afterwards that everybody tells me I need to watch. I've never been like a full tune into the Olympics girl, but I guess maybe this would be my opportunity if I'm following along with your podcast.
I think so. And I think we can really talk about the bodies, which is really helpful.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
I just will never forget. This is a Winter Olympics thing, but one of my sexual coming of ages was Apollo Anton Ono.
Ooh,
hottie.
Apollo Anton Ono, the speed skater, and later Dancing with the Stars. I think winner.
Yeah, I think so too.
The man had an ass and I bet
he still has it.
Oh my God. I didn't stand a chance as like, I guess I was like 12 or something. Like there was no way around his ass. Like I was just like, I am so seated for this because he is the hottest man I've ever seen.
Wow. Just picking up for Apollo.
I mean, where, but do we need to? Like what happened?
No, nothing. I'm sorry. Does that mean a bad thing happened?
No.
Pour one out, like to me means like commemoration. Like oh god,
no, I don't mean that. I mean just like I don't know,
celebrate
to him. Yeah, celebrate.
I think it's because the last time I heard the expression "pour one out," I called my dad because Jimmy Buffett died, and he said, "I'm at the beach pouring one out for Jimmy," and I was like, "Oh, God, so heartbreaking."
Dad,
a
little bit of Buffett on this album from you.
Yeah,
are you serious? Really?
I mean, you know, like it's giving like singer-songwriter, like acoustic guitar driven some stuff. I mean, absolutely not.
Yeah, there's this song called Margarita on the Rocks. Thank you. I'll take that.
I will say All American Queen is giving notes of Paul Simon and Jimmy and Buffett. Fair to say?
Yeah, just add like a little bit of faggot and then it's totally. I hear that.
Gay guys.
If you listen to Jimmy Buffett and add a little bit of faggot, you get flat. You actually really don't. I remember when I was little, like my parents were huge parrot heads and like I had just started watching American Idol. So I, of course, thought I knew everything about singing. So I would always drag Jimmy Buffett for his lack of range.
And listen, you weren't wrong. Rest in peace.
But he didn't need the range.
Rangeless
King. He was an icon in several other ways.
Rangeless King. We love him.
Rangeless King. All right, so we've hit the moment in the show where it's time to turn to I Don't Think So, Honey. This is the segment we all know and love. Let me guess, you forgot.
I didn't forget. I just didn't come prepared. But you guys go, and then I'll think of something.
So what's the difference there?
I don't know. I was, I'm learning duets.
Guy voice. Don't start talking in your little soft tenor.
He's in between shows at the Palace.
Sorry.
So, for those of you who also may have forgotten, I Don't Think So, Honey is a 60-second segment where we talk about something in culture and we sort of, we air grievances. I have something that it's going to be very frustrating for a while, but it's just now come to my attention that this is going to be the case, and so I'm gonna do my I Don't Think So, Honey.
Okay, this is Matt Rogers' I Don't Think So, Honey's time starts now.
I Don't Think So, Honey. I'm already stressed out about the Best Actress Tony race next year. I mean, Audra McDonald versus Nicole Scherzinger. This is going to be. I mean, if you thought things have been difficult in the past, things are about to get really hard. Things are about to get really tough in this country. Because let me tell you something. Not only are we going to have whatever happens with the election later in the year, sorry to bring it up, but then almost a few months later, we're going to have a Tony Awards that is going to tear this country apart. Because we're going to have half the country that are saying Audra McDonald is playing Mama Rose. I mean, that is a 6-time Tony winner playing the greatest musical role of all time. How do you get better than that? I have to tell you, I Don't Think So, Honey. If you haven't seen Nicole Scherzinger tear it up in Sunset Boulevard, and she's going to tread the boards in New York And I know she's going to be galvanized because if I can trust Nicole Scherzinger to be one thing, it is galvanized and it is going to be behind her eyes. We're in for it. I don't think so, honey.
And that's 1 minute. She is spilling blood, letting it drip off her chest onto the boards of Broadway.
Literally.
I didn't think about that until now, and now I'm so stressed away.
You haven't thought about it? It's all I've been able to think about is the fact that one of those women is going home empty-handed, and I have to say,
it's a tie.
I guess face value. Let's give Nicole 1. This would be Audra's 7th. I have not seen that performance. It could be no contest. Like that's
Audra
just how talented she is.
She should hop on as a producer because we know to win Revival, and then she gets one anyway.
I wonder if she is a producer already. That's a good question. Yeah.
Just as insurance, because she needs one too.
But you know that's not the same.
6 is not enough.
6 is not enough.
Hashtag, let's start a campaign. Hashtag 6 is not enough.
But I don't want to do that campaign because I want it for Nicole bad.
I can't wait to see her. No, I heard it's amazing.
You didn't go over to the West End?
Did you?
Yeah.
Matt saw
Is she insane?
It is. I don't know how you give a better, more thrilling. Well, I've seen you, so I do know how. But like, it's no. Don't tell me to shut up. Don't fucking tell me to shut up. I have a line. I have a boundary. No, I don't know. It's so good.
I can't wait.
Bowen? I'm thinking about next year's Tonys, and it is just like it's gonna be thrilling because Cole is in the mix. Like,
forget it.
It's gonna be nuts.
We're gonna have to get you back out there to present, Bo, and say this is 6. Bowen iconically introduced the Tony performance of 6.
Oh, I remember.
Oh my God, that was a fun night. My best reception ever, not at the Tony Awards themselves, but at the rehearsal earlier that day, where like all of like the people, all of like the crew working the Tonys were like in the mezzanine at Radio City, and I like whatever, like okay, and now Bowen walks out, and I walked out, and then like people cheering from the mezzanine, being like, this is the most spirited applause I've ever gotten in anywhere. And it was at 2 p.m. on a Saturday. It was great.
I don't think you realize how exciting it is to see you.
It's thrilling.
It's always so exciting to see you.
That's very nice. First time I met Cynthia at the Tony Awards rehearsal. And it was a very nice vibe.
Was she lovely?
She was lovely.
I'm such a fan. I really am. I watch Saturday Night Live. I do.
You know what was the most Cynthia Erivo thing that happened to me was I was reading like
the
Middlemarch.
Cynthia Erivo thing that happened to me.
I was sang incredibly well in all of your range.
Yeah. I sang so well. I was reading Middlemarch on set, and then she comes up, she goes, "What is that?" I was like, "Oh, it's a book by this George Eliot, but it's actually a woman, and she, George Eliot was her like pen name and whatever." She goes, "I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna read that." And then next day she's like, "I love it. I love it so far." I'm like,
She started reading it that day?
I was like,
probably at 5 a.m. on the treadmill. She cracked open that book.
Her and Michelle Yeoh every morning, 5 a.m., getting up, doing a crazy workout every day for
she is
work.
Bananas.
Wow.
Bananas,
I mean, it shows. She looks unbelievable. Yeah, I'm so excited for what this is gonna. She's already a like full superstar, but like she's Elphaba. She's gonna be Elphaba in WICK'T. What was the choice? I think because sometimes I do like a British Elphaba, but she's American in the film.
She's an American Elphaba. Oh my God, seeing West End WICK'T is a fucking hoot. I loved it.
It's fun. They say room allocations instead of room assignments.
Right.
Do
that's the biggest difference.
That's the biggest difference. Room allocations. I like that she's American in the movie because it's like the only way she's supposed to be different from everyone is for greenness, and so she should be the same everywhere, every other way. But maybe Johnny is British.
Johnny's British. Spoiler.
That works though.
He's a prince. He's a prince, and then he's a Winky Prince, and then
Twinkie Prince,
and then I think that's the only Brit. I'm missing one. Oh no, I think Peter Dinklage. I think Dillamond is British. Is male and British.
Lovely.
He's a British man. Looks like a British man. What movie?
Hey, Mab.
AMAB.
AMAB King, Peter Dinklage. Actually, it's Roller Culture number 99. AMAB King, Peter Dinklage.
British. She looked like a British man as Mean Girls, of course.
Yeah, of course. Bowen, you really do know your culture. I just got a text from maybe Ilhan Omar.
Right.
The political texts are popping off.
Of course they are.
Okay, so this is Bowen's. I don't think so, honey. Are you ready, galvanized and free?
Yes.
Bowen Yang's time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. Barbecues, it ain't all it's cracked up to be. You want smoke in the lung? You want a half grilled, a half cooked piece of chicken? You're getting food poisoning at the function. And the conversation's not going to be that great. The music's not going to be loud enough because we're too afraid to, get a complaint. And none of it is what you want it to be. I'm sorry. We all love barbecue in theory, don't we?
30 seconds.
But then when you have to get up the coal, or you have to figure out how you're going to light the thing, it's too much. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, everybody. Summer's just beginning. It's
15.
grilling season. But it's not going to live up to the fantasy unless you're really good at the tongs, unless you're really good at opening up but yeah, first of all,
5 seconds.
Good luck if you have to clean out the fucking vents from the year before, because that is going to put you off from the whole fucking thing. I don't think so, honey.
And that's 1 minute. I will say, I will shout out Jared again. We just had a small, tiny moment at his house where he barbecued for a few friends. You just have to get someone who isn't yeah, I can do it. You have to get someone that's going to take the grilling seriously.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Noah, you haven't been to a barbecue that Noah has been in charge of. It's a different kind of experience.
Well, maybe if he does it at the wedding, we can, you can throw us some meat on the side because we'll be working the event.
Well, you'll be so tired from your motivational dancing that you'll need some protein. But he's a great chef, so it'll taste really good. But he takes the timing seriously, doesn't put it on others. We position the grill in a proper place. It can be done in a meaningful way. But I do agree that a slapdash barbecue is not always a fun experience.
Maybe I'm too used to slapdash barbecue.
It's one of those things too, where you never want to really volunteer unless you're so confident you can do it. Because I've actually, at our Fire Island house, Bowen, remember this? I was I'll grill. Yeah. And then one of our guests came over and was I'm so sorry. I need you to get out of the way. I'm going to take over. But this person came over and was you know what? They were right to kick me off. I didn't know what I was doing, and everyone would have been having a worse experience. But if you have someone that's truly a grill master, which
these are few and far between.
I would agree. But Noah Galvin.
Yeah, well, he's not certified, but he's a master of the grill.
It should be a certification that you need to have in order to man a grill. Do you cook?
When we first started dating, the gas in my apartment was turned off, and Carrie Bradshaw style, I was storing clothes in my oven.
In the oven. Oh.
But at this point, I can stew. I can clean as he goes and chop for him and stuff.
You can stew. Okay, I thought you said you could stew, and I was well, Bowen Yang is.
Yeah, I exclusively make stew.
That's Bowen.
Really, do you love stew, Bowen?
I love a stew year round. It's my
really?
thing.
Yeah.
Well, just because you throw her all in there and she just simmers and there she is, or what about it do you love?
Exactly. No, it's that. It's it's perfect stoner food. It's it just really hits every spot.
As Taylor Tomlinson recently said, a stew is just soup with something to say.
That's perfect.
I thought that was really apt. I thought it was beautiful. Well, Bo, looking ahead, I hope that you have people around you that can barbecue this summer and aren't playing in your face.
I just think look, I love a public space. I love a public park with grills. It does. The smoke do billow. The smoke do go into other spaces. And it's we're just trying to play cards here on our blanket, but we're getting the draft. We're getting the downdraft from the grill that's 200 feet away.
Spatial awareness is going to be huge this summer when it comes to creating smoke, fire, and more.
Period.
So now it's time for Ben Platt's I Don't Think So, Honey. Are you ready, galvanized and free?
Noah Galvanized?
I'm between two.
Okay. Noah Galvanized.
You've heard
Noah Galvanized.
He's heard that before.
His drag name's Noah Vale, but I do also like Noah Galvin.
Noah Vale.
That's really good.
Wait, can I try this? Because Bowen is not sold on my drag name, but I'll try it out on you.
It.
Do it.
Splasha Cram.
I like Splasha-Cran.
I was never against Splasha-Cran.
You do that thing you always do to me, which is, the iconic first name, Splasha.
No, that's not.
Also, one that I heard recently that's not for me, but that I think is good is Sharon Elise. Like Sharon Elise.
Sharon Elise.
Yeah. Or Alexa Pro.
Alexa Pro is perfect.
Pro. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
What you're between two? Like, do you need help to decide?
One is like so niche and one is like bratty.
Niche and bratty.
I think do niche. I think you can make the niche one bratty.
Okay,
let's do niche.
Okay, I'll do niche.
Okay, this is Ben Platt's I Don't Think So, Honey. Time starts now.
I don't think so, honey, on DoorDash when they tell you it's going to come at a certain time and then they're showing you the path of the car coming towards you and they fill time by creating like a gridded path on every street heading to your house when you know for a fact that is not the path that the car is taking. They're just trying to pretend that he's on his way or his bike or his feet or whatever it is. Looping. He has not even left the business. He's dropping off somebody else's food. He's fucking somebody else's girlfriend. He is not headed towards you. And it's telling you, don't worry, he's just turning right.
Seconds.
And he's also decided to take this left as well. And I also have 30 more seconds. I'm going to throw in the other one. I don't think so, honey. Straight people asking me, what am I going to do for Pride? Because I don't know what am I going to do for Pride. I'm just going to be gay and hang around other gay people like I do the rest of the year. It's none of your business what I'm going to do for Pride. What are you going to do for Pride, sir? Are you going to advocate for us? Are you going to go to a parade? Are you going to take your shirt off? What are you going to do for Pride? You're going to come see me at the Palace? You should do that for Pride. Because I'm just going to be continuing to live and cohabitate with my same-sex partner. Thank you so much. 59 and a minute.
And I don't think so, honey. That is 1 minute. Good for you. I was just in Palm Springs for Memorial Day weekend. Those bars were filled with, I'm sorry, but bachelorette parties. And not to say that Palm Springs is like an exclusively gay thing. It's fine. It's just like you get the sense that now more than ever, and I love the straight girlies, but like at the gay bar during Pride, it's like that's not really your space. Like when the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City went to Palm Springs and stayed at the Trixie Motel and then they went over to like the gay bars and stuff, I was like, I think this has changed forever. And it did.
Yeah.
It was different this year than it's ever been.
Wow. Because of Salt Lake.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't researched my findings.
Those were historic episodes.
They certainly were. And I wouldn't take them back at all. But I just noticed that the gay bars in Palm Springs this Memorial Day weekend, it was a different situation than years past, for sure.
Okay.
When is that going to come back, Salt Lake?
You know, I just got... It's done. They're shooting that. They've shot the season.
The fall.
The ladies did very well at the Las Culturistas Culture Awards nominations. They did really well. They're up for the Bene Gesserit Award for a group of women that slay.
Yeah. For most slay group of women. Yeah.
Most slay group of women. They're up for Best Picture, Literal Picture.
Whoa.
Yeah,
is it the Last Supper picture?
It is. It's the one 4 women on a beach.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. The Last Supper picture, though, is...
It's pretty good.
That got snubbed.
It got snubbed, and we're getting a lot of flack for snubbing the rumors and nastiness and receipts proof timeline screenshots. We're getting it, but listen, like we don't control it. Like it's like we don't control the nominations. So
sorry,
I understand someone else.
That's okay. The Last Supper picture will get like an Obie or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of nominations, I nominate Ben as one of our best guests, one of our favorite people. This album is so good. I absolutely loved listening to every second of it. Honeymind is streaming now, and you got to go see Ben at the Palace. You just have to. You'll be giving yourself a big gift, like I said. And
if you don't live in New York, I'm going on tour after that. So I'm coming to somewhere near you. So come see me. It'll be like pretty much the same thing.
stream Honeymind now, I said. And Matt was saying he nominates Ben. I have the envelope in my hand. And the winner is Ben Platt.
Babe, you won.
Babe, you won. Wake up.
My adrenals are so shot from the palace. I don't even know how to react.
You got to go see him quick before his adrenals totally give out, because they're on their last legs.
And he's chugging room temperature water. He's chugging room temperature water just for you.
It's gone from the whole episode. It's gone.
Oh,
that's good. You need your strength. We love you, Diva.
Love you guys. Thanks for having me back.
Of fucking corks. We end every episode with a song.
Don't wish.
Don't start wishing only wounds the heart.
That's the girl he chose. Is that the right one?
No. There's a girl I know.
There's a girl
I know. Give me a little cello. He loves her so.
Do, 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 do.
I'm not that girl. I'm giving a lot of fury. To hear the rest of that, listen to the WICK'T soundtrack.
Bye.
Bye.